What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video today. We are going to be doing the Manchester City transfer update. I'm looking very relaxed, and I'll tell you right now, I am very relaxed. But before we crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content and you want to help support my channel, then subscribe, press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. I'm aiming for 6,000 subscribers at the time of recording now. We're now less than 220 away, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. You can find my social media links, Twitter and Instagram, in the description. Links to them in the description below and popping up on screen if you want to go and search for me and follow me on there. I'm going to keep you up to date with everything happening with the latest Manchester City news and transfer news, so worthwhile following me on them. Don't forget also my email in the description below too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. We will have daily Manchester City transfer updates back throughout the summer transfer window when eventually it does open. Don't forget also, leave your thoughts in the comments below with these transfers that I talk about in this video and any players that you'd like Manchester City to sign in the upcoming transfer window. And don't forget also, you can leave a thumbs up so I know that you enjoyed the video. So without further ado, we're going to crack on with this video. And by the way, I am going to be speaking about the announcements that's been made by Manchester City just yesterday afternoon about the upcoming, or the ending should I say, to the Premier League season and what it means for match-going fans and fans that have got tickets for games. I'm going to talk about that at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, we're going to speak about City transfer news, and apparently Manchester City, they're closing in on not just one, but two senior first-team signings. So yeah, strap yourselves in. Let's crack on. So the first player of them two players that City are believed to be closing in is coming in the form of Houssem Aouar. Now, we've got an update on him. Sources in France were reporting a few days ago that Manchester City, they are preparing their bid for Aouar for this summer, and it was being reported by L'Equipe over in France that all avenues are pointing towards Manchester City. Now, L'Equipe, they're saying that Lyon want to sell Houssem Aouar early this summer, so they want the business done nice and early. They want €50 million for him, and this will free up Lyon to be able to bring in some players, and it'll allow them to do their transfer business nice and early. So getting a transfer secured nice and early, have the money there so they can spend the rest of the summer looking for some alternatives and signing some more players. So they're wanting €50 million, which in my opinion is well within Manchester City's budget. Now, Sky Sports, this was interesting, were reporting Manchester City are looking for up to 4 players for this summer. So we're still going to be busy even though we've got the pandemic going on at this moment in time. City are one of around 6 or 7 clubs that do have money to spend this summer, and believe me, City will be spending some money this summer. Maybe not as big as what they were hoping, but they'll still be spending and signing players this summer. Now, Sky Sports are reporting that City are looking at 2 centre-backs this summer, along with a full-back, which is interesting, and if Leroy Sane should leave, then we'll be looking for a winger too. Now, City, we're a bit short on central midfielders. I am all for promoting Phil Foden, absolutely, I think that is wonderful, but David Silva leaves, we're going to have Rodri, we're going to have Gundogan, we're going to have De Bruyne, we're going to have Phil Foden. And then we're a bit short. Fernandinho, guarantee you this, will be used as a last resort option for an option in midfield, and he'll play in defensive midfield. So it will mean pushing Gundogan further forward. We're just looking at, in my opinion, we're looking for just one more central midfielder. I do think the development of the young players like Tommy Doyle, they're probably needing a loan. Like, they're going to need a season or two to have some solid development before they're up to a level where they can compete with the Manchester City squad. And so a central midfielder this summer would make sense. I completely understand the fans' point of view with them wanting priority in the transfer window, but City will have alternatives to look for, and we're not just looking at centre-backs. Ideally, I would like Manchester City to sign a centre-back, and that would be our first signing, so everyone's anxiety is at ease. However, if City are wanting to bring in a central midfielder, which is contradicting from sources in France to what's been said on Sky Sports, both are semi-reliable, sometimes not, with L'Equipe and Sky Sports. But City, they don't seem to be talking about central midfielders in England, but they are getting spoken about in obviously on the continent in Europe, and Houssem Aouar apparently is going to be one of them targets. I will say this for sure. Kevin De Bruyne picks up a serious injury next season, or at the latter stages of the upcoming season when it reaches its finale, and De Bruyne could be out for months and months if he picks up an injury, and I really hope that doesn't happen. all of a sudden we are looking very short on central midfielders. So whilst there's 21-year-old quality central midfielders like Aouar available for a good price, I think City would be crazy not to pursue that. Now, moving on, City getting linked with some more players. So the first, it comes from Mirror. They're reporting that Manchester City are looking at centre-back Joe Rodon of Swansea City. He's a 22-year-old homegrown central defender. £20 million apparently is his value. It was being reported, though, in the Mirror, while City are interested, Manchester United were closing in on signing him. So I'm not too sure why Manchester City's name was being mentioned there, if I'm completely honest. I think that's just summarises the transfers up, if I'm completely honest. But if I want to speak about Manchester United, it sounds like a Man United signing. Obviously, they've got good working relationships with Swansea City after bringing in Daniel James from them last season. So signing another quality young player in the form of Joe Rodon would make sense, £20 million. But he's not an option for Manchester City. So just clarifying that that isn't an avenue that City are pursuing. Now, we've got a new name alert. Ding, 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 ding. Edouard Michu of PSG. He's a 17-year-old. Well, he's 17. He's 17. Pretty much all I know about him, other than he's not on a professional deal at Paris Saint-Germain, and Manchester City, I wanted to bring him in. Obviously, you would think to offer him a professional deal, and then he would go straight into City's academy and more than likely be in the under-18s team, then slotted in after that in the EDS, the Elite Development Squad for Manchester City. But like I said, other than he's 17 years old and he plays in midfield, I don't know much else about it, if I'm completely honest, but a new name that's getting linked with Manchester City. Now, we've got an update on a player that keeps getting linked every now and then. Comes in the form of Kingsley Coman. Now, apparently, Barcelona and Real Madrid, they're also being linked too, but the rumours going round or floating around from Germany are saying that Kingsley Coman does not want to leave Bayern Munich, but if Bayern Munich wish for him to leave, then he will leave, if that makes sense. He's not going to actively pursue to leave, but if Bayern Munich want him to leave, then he's free to leave in. He wants to play predominantly on the left wing, which I presume is why he's been linked with Man City, because of course Leroy Sane, if he does leave Manchester City, are going to look to try and bring in a left winger, and bringing in a big name like Kingsley Coman, you would think would make sense. It could also be used as a potential swap deal involving Kingsley Coman and Leroy Sane, but that's more than likely not going to happen. I am also hearing flickers of Alaba in a swap deal with Leroy Sane involving a £10 million fee plus Alaba for Leroy Sane. At the moment, I think that's just lots of stuff that's being fabricated around in the press. The fact is, with Leroy Sane, Bayern Munich are halfway to meeting the value of Leroy Sane. They want to pay roughly £35 million. City are looking for upwards of £70 million. So we're at a stalemate. Players could be used as swaps, but no development as such on that. One thing I will say, though, about Kingsley Coman, he's more injury prone than Benjamin Mendy, which means he'd suit Manchester City's style of being injury prone. And don't get me wrong, I think Kingsley Coman on his day is a quality player. He's just injury prone and pretty inconsistent. So I'm not sure, if I'm completely honest. I'd like to know your thoughts of that in the comments below. I have my doubts, let's say that. Getting complicated. We've got an update on Nelson Semedo. Now, it was been reported yesterday, and it was a bit confusing, so it's been further clarified by sources over in Spain. But the fact is, or according to them anyway, the fact is City very keen on bringing in Nelson Semedo. Barcelona want to sell Joao Cancelo, but this time they don't want to use Joao Cancelo as a player for them. They want to sign Joao Cancelo in a swap with Nelson Semedo, and then use Cancelo as a makeshift or a swap deal involving Lautaro Martinez to bring him in from Inter Milan, and Joao Cancelo will sign for Barcelona before moving on to Inter Milan. Apparently, Joao Cancelo wants to leave Manchester City, according to sources in Spain, which that's news to me, if I'm completely honest, so I'm going to question the reliability of these sources. But apparently he's keen on a move to Inter Milan. Antonio Conte wants him at Inter Milan. If that doesn't happen, maybe a fee could be negotiated where City bring in Semedo. They're in constant talks with Barcelona and Inter Milan, and well, basically Inter Milan sign Joao Cancelo for what we're looking at, around £40 million. City bring in Semedo for £40 million. The cash just gets moved from one place to another, but in the end, it looks like Cancelo could be a player for Inter Milan, which would see Martinez go to Barcelona, which would see Semedo go to Manchester City, which would see Cancelo leave City to go to Inter Milan. Like I said, these are sources coming from Spain. It's also been backed up by sources in Italy. I'm going to question the reliability, but I'll keep my eye on that. One thing I do know is, while City, according to reports on the continent, very keen on bringing Aouar in, we're very keen on bringing Semedo in too. And these are two, in my opinion, pretty realistic transfers that City could bring in. Is that going to be Manchester City's fullback that we're looking at to bring in that Sky Sports were reporting on earlier? I do not know, but I do feel like we need a left back more than a right back. But if Cancelo leaves, then we do need a right back. It's confusing. Merry-go-round, honestly, it is a merry-go-round. Then we start speaking about Alaba and a possible swap deal, because he can play centre-back, so we'll kill two birds with one stone, bringing in a full-back that could play centre-back, who could play defensive midfield. Everything that Pep had looked for, being versatile in a player. It's very confusing. And speaking of confusing, takes us on to, very nicely, our last story. Comes in the form of Claudio Bravo. Now, it comes from Houssem Aouar, is that how you say his name? It works for Sky Sports News sometimes, you see him on there. And he's reporting that Claudio Bravo, he wants to stay at Manchester City, but he wants a new 3-year contract. And Manchester City are only prepared to offer him a 12-month rolling contract, much like what we do with Fernandinho. Contract starts to run down, we offer him an extension for 12 months and working like that. But I will say, time's running out if Claudio Bravo is wanting to stay at Manchester City, and it sounds to me like City are happy to go with 12 months. If not, and Bravo wants a longer term deal, he'll more than likely leave Manchester City. And it is being reported by Belay that, or Belay, I don't know how you say his name, but if Bravo does leave, Man City are more than happy to use Zack Steffen as their backup goalkeeper for next season, Manchester City's new number 2. Who, in my opinion, is a quality goalkeeper and would give Ederson that much needed quality competition. Not that I don't think Claudio Bravo is a good goalkeeper, I just don't think we've got him in his prime, and bringing in a goalkeeper like Steffen, we signed him for a reason. Let's go and see what he can do. So there we go, that has been the video. I hope you enjoyed the video with the transfer stories. I'll quickly now speak about what I was on about at the beginning of the video. I received an email yesterday afternoon from Manchester City. Manchester City have all but confirmed that games will be played behind closed doors. There's going to be no fans for the remainder of the finale of the end of the 2019-2020 season. That is if the season does resume. There won't be any fans in, and if you are a season ticket holder, you will have a refund for 6 match day tickets. I'm not sure how much of the money, it didn't state figures, but you're going to get money back for 6 games. You have an option as a season ticket holder to either get a full refund where you don't have to contact the club, that's automatic, it'll be sent straight to your bank account or the card that you've used to pay for your season ticket. Or you can contact the club and ask them, instead of getting a refund, to get match credits instead, where you can use that for other tickets. I don't know if that's for the season tickets for next season, or whether that's for cup competitions, or it can be used whenever. It's a bit sketchy on the details, but that's what City are offering. If you've got any match tickets for any game that's been cancelled or that's going to be played behind closed doors, you will be automatically given a full refund, and them tickets will no longer be valid. And City did add that's including cup competitions, which, because the Carabao Cup's already done, I presume that's not going to be of any interest to anybody in terms of refunds. But for the FA Cup game that we had against Newcastle United, you'll be given a refund on, and of course the Champions League second leg against Real Madrid too. It doesn't specifically state that, it just says cup competition, so I'm going to presume that it falls into that category. We'll wait for further clarification, but it's more of an update for season ticket holders. That's so if you're a season ticket holder at City and you've not checked your emails, or you've not been sent that email, that is the latest. So there we go, that's been the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you slap a thumbs up on the video so I know that you liked the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below with these transfers and any players you want City to sign or sell in this upcoming summer transfer window. Don't forget, subscribe if you're new around here and you're enjoying the content. Press that red button, press the bell, put your push notifications on. Aiming for 6k subscribers, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Social media links also in the description below and popping up on screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. And I'll see you all again for the next video. You got any video suggestions, by the way, for me, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll see what I can do. And I'll see you all again very soon in the next few days for the next Manchester City and football video. So I've been JSGC. Lockdown slowly starting to be eased, but we are still in lockdown in the UK. Professional football could well be resuming in the next few weeks, so we're starting to make some progress, whether you agree with that or not. We're starting to see some things heading somewhere. That's the situation that we're in, but in the meantime, I'll see you all again for the next video. So I've been JSGC. Hope you'll have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. peace. Ciao for now.